Hi guys, and welcome. I have a very special video with the famous Coach Adrian from Love Advice TV. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be with you, Coach Apple.
Oh, thank you so much. In today's topic, we're going to talk about what to do when she breaks up with you and the power of no contact. I know a lot of you have been asking for me to talk about no contact. It's not something I really touch on here, but I brought in an expert to help us really dissect what happens when a woman breaks up with you, and also what Adrian's seen in coaching thousands of women and men in breakup recovery, and how he's been able to really master the no contact rule to bringing relationships back in more healthier and sustainable relationships as well. So I would love to just dive into this no contact rule
Let's
first.
do it.
But Adrian, what is the no contact rule?
Very good question. So the no contact is a technique or a strategy that you can use after a breakup in order to regain control. And unfortunately, as you know, at times after a breakup, it's very easy to lose control over your emotions. It is like a death. It's like facing the death of someone that you love, except it's the death of the relationship. And unfortunately, many men and women don't know how to basically cope with the different stages of grief that they're going to go through. And when interested in trying to repair a broken relationship, continue to dig themselves in a deeper and deeper hole because they try to fix things right away from a place of weakness, from a place of vulnerability, and from a place of desperation. And so the no contact is a tried and tested technique that can help you regain control over your emotions and maximize your chances of repairing the relationship the right way.
I love that part, regaining your emotions, because that's, I think, a really big thing for the no contact. So I know from experience too, and you, of breakups and seeing my clients go through breakups as well, is what they experience when they go to breakups, and then they have a bunch of regret because maybe they'll talk to a coach or they watch your videos and they're like, but I text her so much. I begged for her affection. I begged for her back. I sent her flowers to the point where she was just like, you need to stop contacting me. This is too much. So can a man repair after he's, let's say, quote unquote, acted emotionally in this way?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Okay.
So most of our clients reach out to us after they've made all sorts of mistakes, the begging, the pleading, the bargaining. And one of the questions that I get asked always in coaching sessions, in private coaching sessions, is it still possible to get her back or to get him back, despite the fact that I've done all of these mistakes? And so yes, the no contact is not something that you necessarily need to implement right after a breakup. It can be implemented after you've made all sorts of mistakes. So especially when you were very needy and you put your ex on a pedestal and you kept messaging them, bombarding them, the no contact can really be a powerful tool to help you get into the right mindset, to be able to start to shift the way that this person sees you, and also the proper atmosphere and space that you need to be able to put a plan in place that you can then follow through on.
Yeah. So I would like to dive into that a little bit more. So let's say we have one of the gentlemen that are watching us now. He's probably he's going through a breakup and also has probably done all the wrong things in regards to how he reacted, which is totally normal as humans. I think sometimes we get into that fight or flight when we're going to lose someone that we really love. It happens. And I think it's just about really consciously making the decision to change that behavior. But so let's say he's done that. What would be the first step? Let's go into the first, second, and third step that he should do that will get his ex-girlfriend to want to come back to him possibly, or get her attention.
Yeah. So it's very important to understand that in most cases, when a breakup happens, it is not because someone has just fallen out of love with you. It happens because a girl either no longer feels secure with you, or because someone just simply doesn't see you as someone that can make them happy anymore. And so the first step usually is to convey to people that this is not a short-term quick fix. Let's just convey our love to this person that we love, because they're not going to be receptive to that. The first step is to take a step back and to actually understand the root causes of the issues that led to the breakup. And very often, it's not what you think it is. And unless you really take time to dig deep and to look at the relationship from their point of view, taking into account all sorts of different factors like their upbringing, their fears, their insecurities, what they aspire for, their hopes and aspirations, it's very difficult for you to really get a good grasp as to actually what went wrong. You will have a superficial approach to breakup recovery. So it always all starts with understanding. Second, there needs to be a process of growth. Or okay, you understand conceptually, theoretically what went wrong. How are we going to go from here to becoming that person that they want you to be or that they want to be with? And so this is the entire notion and concept of personal transformation that is at the heart of our philosophy. And quite frankly, the reason why I do what I do is to help people turn a breakup from a crisis into a victory. And so, yes, there's this misconception about breakups that it's the worst thing in the world and that when you break up with someone, it's better to just go your separate ways. But that is actually not true. A breakup is an opportunity for growth. And many times, people who go through a breakup get a lot of clarity about a lot of things that they need to change in their lives. And so, when you start to approach this process as a process of personal growth and personal transformation, and you're able to become your authentic self again because you were probably too complacent, too detached, or too needy during the relationship, then you can basically become the person that they fell in love with at the very beginning of the relationship, only a more mature, wiser version of that person, while at the same time having developed the right tools to be able to flourish in love in terms of how to communicate effectively, how to empathize, how to validate that significant other. So that is the second step. The third step is to reconnect with this person in a non-threatening, organic way. If you guys are not talking, you're probably not going to get back together. So it becomes very important to be able to reach out to an ex without triggering them, without scaring them. And unfortunately, most people after a breakup reach out in a way that is very threatening to their significant other. Threatening in the sense of threatening their decision to end the relationship. We want to make sure that we're not putting them on a pedestal, that we're not talking about the mistakes, the failures of the past, the reasons for the breakup, how you've changed and you're ready for a second chance. We don't want any of that. What we want to do is to make them smile again, to be able to kind of connect as if it was the first time and show them that you have a new sense of confidence, a renewed swagger, so that we can really engage in this process of attraction the right way.
And I love that. And the third step, I think, is also too, a lot of patience lives there, right?
Absolutely.
And just trusting the process and just believing in yourself enough to say, I've done the work, either she's going to see it or she's not going to see it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to just take this step by step, right?
For sure. I think that your level of confidence and well-being is critical throughout the process, but even more critical in that third step. Because if you don't believe in what you bring to the table, how can you expect her to believe in you? And for women, it is very important to feel secure in the relationship. Not as in, oh, this macho man is going to protect me. Secure in that we are going places together. This relationship is progressing. This man is safe and can provide for me. And so if you are still unsure or walking on eggshells around your significant other, or not where you know you should be professionally, for example, it's going to be very difficult to make the most out of this third step, especially if you're trying to rush through the process.
Yeah. And all of these steps, the first, second, and third, would be steps that you take during the no contact, right?
So the first and the second step are definitely steps that you take during the no contact. Mm-hmm. It's also important to start to have a plan, a framework as to how you can approach the third step. But obviously then we're talking about breaking no contact, re-engaging with them. So of course this is all theoretical and
until you know the situation.
Until we know the situation. And I always encourage every client of mine that I work with to use their common sense, to really process the information that is given and to make sure that they apply what is relevant in their day-to-day. Mm-hmm. And it's very important for you to make sure that when you hear this advice, that you contextualize it to what you're going through. Perhaps you can't do a no contact because you still live with this person, you have a child together, so you can't just not engage with them at all. And which leads me to this very important point. No contact is more than a communication strategy. I hope that by now you have understood that. It's not just about not talking to someone. It's a mindset of pulling away and focusing on you. And so that can be contextualized no matter what type of situation you're in.
Yeah. And I think as a woman myself, if I was going through an experience in a breakup and I still had love for this person, still had empathy for the person, and they went no contact, it put me in a curiosity state. So it switches my mind frame from get away from me, I need space, to now what is he up to? I haven't heard from him. This is weird. Oh, I see him on social media. He's doing things differently. He's hiking, he's traveling, he's living his life. So now I'm in a curiosity state. And as a woman, I'm like, well, I love him. Am I missing out on something? Am I making a mistake? Is he changing? Maybe I should talk to him a little bit more. And so I feel like that's where the no contact is, the power of the no contact. It gets the other partner maybe in the curiosity state. Is there anything else you would maybe say?
That's absolutely true. The process of a breakup is a very funny affair, in that I know that people that are going through it are really struggling, but there's a lot of misconceptions about breakups. And from experience, I know that it goes in phases. And if you're able to approach it the right way and go into no contact, that initial pain and desperation and feelings of rejection that you feel can quickly lead to you feeling empowered. And it's actually your ex, that person that said no to the relationship or that didn't see you as the potentially right partner for them, that starts to go through the different stages of grief. And they will also fear losing you if you are transforming into the man that they always wanted to be with. And so yes, there's an aspect, an element of reverse psychology there. And quite honestly, sometimes we think we know what we want until it is gone. And when that reality sets in, we don't just focus on the negative aspects of the relationship and the breakup. We see the quality traits and attributes that you bring to the table, which reshapes the balance of power in your favor.
Yeah, and I love, I think like you said, there's a lot of misconceptions with the ex-back and all this. But when I bring people onto this channel, it's because I've seen your work and I've seen you and your results. I've seen what's happened. I've seen, how you are as a coach. And I think with Love Advice TV and your team, Adrian, you guys take a really big holistic approach. You're number one as a coach going into coaching clients and getting ex-back recovery is focused mainly on the client. Like, how can I help this client better their mindset, better their life, and overall make that decision at the end? Do they go back to their ex or do they not? It's not like a manipulation tactic that he's just like, oh, I'm going to get you, your ex right now. And I think that's really important because whenever we talk about ex, I see comments that are like, never go back to an ex. But also, I'm a big believer that relationships teach us so much about ourselves. Like love and loss are the biggest things in life that teach us so much about ourselves. And who are we to say? Because every relationship is different. And that's why you have to hire a coach, because he's worked with thousands of clients with different situations in different countries all over the world. And one of the things is everybody's different, right? Breakups happen, space happens in relationship, in marriages, and in couples because of the fact that something needs to change, right? Majority of the time, something needs to change. And it doesn't mean that every person is not meant to be together, but there's a lesson in there. And it's about showing up for that lesson and not judging someone because they want to go back to an ex, right? Letting them go through their lessons that they need to heal from and they need to see and they possibly need to overcome as well. And I'm a big advocate for what you guys do. The approach that you guys take is a really holistic approach in regards to really getting that client to feel confident again, because a breakup literally will take your soul sometimes.
It's so true.
Soul wrenching, right?
Yeah.
And that's why love and loss feel the same sometimes. And so you learn a lot about yourself. So I think if you're experiencing a breakup, guys, really find support with a coach like Coach Adrian here in Love Advice TV. He has coaches that he's trained as well that work with him. And I've seen from my experience the results that they get from their clients, but they truly, truly, truly care. Like they just want the best for their clients. And I think it's really important that you find support because breakups bring out a lot of mental health in us, a lot of questionable things. So finding support, people around you that you love is really, really important. So I'm going to link below Love Advice TV's YouTube channel and also their website, which is called With My Ex Again, if you need any coaching in regards to getting your ex back, want a tailored plan as well. Thank you so much, Coach Adrian, for being here with me.
Thank you for the kind words, first and foremost. I truly appreciate this opportunity. I love your work.
Thank you.
And so thank you for this opportunity. And I hope to meet many of you and to support you in your process of breakup recovery as well.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. And as always, we have this next video right over here. It's 5 signs that your ex will come back to you. If you want to watch that next, it's right over here. As always, remember, you are always loved, and see you in the next video.